Dear Harstem, Terran is Imba. I know you don't believe it, but trust me, after watching this replay, you will agree with me. My opponent is quite strong. Kemoji Satori, aka Gu Ming Di Ju in Chinese, ranked 2nd in China server's ladder. In this game I kept my worker from exploding by his Widowmine airdrop and I defended 2 waves of attack. That's a heavy loss of my eco, but my Dark Templars overturned the situation and I deployed a bunch of BG units in his base. Now, BG units, for the people that aren't aware, is units that are built from the gateway. B is the hotkey for build and G is the hotkey for gateway. And Chinese players often describe buildings or units with the hotkeys through which they are built. All right, a bit of background info. Let's continue. I think I had a better resource advantage, so I attacked his 3rd base, pushing with 6 Colossus. I know 2 Colossus can't evaporate Marines quickly. That's a 200 pop push, and at that time, Gu only got 150 pop. In the end, all of my Colossus were destroyed, and I lost. I think the Colossus is suck in battle. Name is JV here. The race is Protoss in the Master League on the Chinese server. His opponent is the famous Gu, the rank 2 on the Chinese server. I never heard of him, but if he's rank 2, it's got to be pretty good. And the question here is Terran imbalanced or does he suck? And a specific request here to have a closer look at the Colossus. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so here we go. JV in the top right against Gu, our orange Terran in the bottom left. On Inside and Out, a really cute map, and you see a probe heading over towards the bottom side. Curious to see how well these players do. Now, JV mentioned that Gu is the 2nd ranked player on the Chinese server. I don't actually know what that means, as in I don't know what the skill level of the 2nd ranked player in the Chinese server actually is. Like, is that a good player? Is that a bad player? It is completely possible that all of the top players from China play on different servers, like on the more competitive servers, either Europe or Korea. I know a lot of Chinese players have been playing some of the European Cups as well and have been performing kind of okay. I know a lot of the Chinese players enjoy playing on Korea as well. People like Time, Sai, and I think Coffee plays on Korea. Coffee also plays on Europe. So there's a bunch of people there that obviously are very good, but I'm not sure if they play on the Chinese server. So it's completely possible that a Gu over here would be like a mid-masters or a high-masters on another server, but is actually ranked 2nd on the Chinese server. I just don't know. I have no clue what the actual skill level is what I'm trying to say. Now, we see a lot of mineral mining going down here and a slow rally into the assimilator. That means that we're not going to be seeing a Stargate most likely. The moment you see maximum mineral saturation, 99% of the time it's just either going to be a Twilight Council, some type of 3-gate pressure, or even in some cases even a robotics facility opener. God, ooh. Just thinking about robotics facility openers kind of makes me shiver a little bit. Scares me. It's a scary thought. We do have a semi-wall here. Well, actually, no, this is an actual semi-wall. I was gonna say this is a semi-wall because it doesn't wall out this area, but I don't even think this walls out this area either, because I do believe I think this is a hole. It feels like this is a hole that needs to be plugged by an adept. I don't know, like I don't think you can even put a pylon up here.
Hey guys, Hamster here with a quick intermission to check that claim, because it appears to be a full wall. I cannot get my probe through that at all. And this seems to be because this little knob right here is actually unbuildable terrain. You can see the little X icon. And that's why this is still a full wall, even though it looks very deceiving. Here it is once again with a fully built cybercore. You can see it's not possible to get anything through there. So I guess that means Harstem actually sucks at walling. Back to you, Kevin.
2 pylons maybe, or like a stalker you can put in there. That really sucks. I love the thought of walling here though. I'm a huge fan of that. I really am a huge fan of that, because it only allows the Reaper to jump in through this spot. Makes it easier to deny, basically anything, any type of scouting, any type of harassment as well. This is kind of interesting. Why is this so late? What? Okay, I'm actually fairly confused, but I need to see this again. What is this crap? Okay, I was so mesmerized here by the wall that I didn't quite see what was going on. So we have the cybernetics core finishing at 204. That's already 4 seconds late for a core first, which is relatively slow. Then we start off with an adapt warp gate, and only then do we start the battery. Not even instantly. And there's a probe cut as well. Holy crap, this is a terrible execution here. Yeah, so this battery, it starts 14 seconds later than it usually starts with this type of play, or maybe 12 seconds later than it usually starts. Because what you want to be doing if you get a battery in your main base, so that you can get your adapt across the map as quickly as possible without having to worry about losing any workers to a potential Reaper. It's a cool play that a lot of the Korean Protoss players used to love, like, let's say 8-9 months ago. Nowadays it's not quite as popular anymore. But when they did it, they would always have the battery in time. Right now what's happening is that you're wasting 100 minerals on a battery, and on top of that you also still lost 2 workers, which is actually really, really bad for an early game here as a Protoss player. Super expensive, super expensive. And there also was no blocking on the opponent's CC, which means that the CC just finishes for free as well. This entire thing was completely useless. Not only did 2 probes go down for no reason, but also a battery has been built, which is not going to be providing any value whatsoever in this game anymore for the next maybe, 4 minutes. Maybe at the 7-minute mark, there's going to be a drop in the main base in which this battery will play a major role in defending. But I honestly find it somewhat unlikely. I just don't really see it happening. Seems like a mine drop-ish follow-up, as we have 2 mines coming out already. Could be a triple mine drop. We have a Robo coming out of JV over here. Robo before the second gateway. Now this is interesting because that means that the moment this gateway or the warp gate finishes, there's only a single gateway to warp in units with, which usually is, well, considered a mistake because you just have very little units. Right now there's only 2 units. That could be dangerous. That really could be dangerous, having this type of a low unit count. There's going to be, I think, 2 warp-in cycles without having a second gateway. That means by the time the mine drop hits, I think there's just going to be 3 stalkers and a single adapt. Simply not enough. You need to be in the perfect location if you have 3 stalkers in order to stop a mine drop. Even if you have blink, because it just takes so many shots to take that medevac down. Ideally, you have 5 stalkers by the time the mine drop comes in. And you can easily blink in and 2 volley the medevac, which is very, very important often. Now, here comes the mine drop. What's the vision like right now for our good friend JV? So he has 1 pylon here, has no vision whatsoever on the top side, has no vision on the right. Okay, let me just say, like, he has no vision. He's blind. He sees nothing. He has some buildings on the edges, but that's about it. That's as far as his vision goes. Now, what's the unit movement like? Okay, we're moving towards no, there's not a middle ground. Okay, this is the opposite. Okay, this is the type of move that makes very, very little sense. This is giving me strong... let's just say I'm very happy that there are no horse races in your town, or at least I hope there are no horse races in your city, because this is giving me strong betting all my life saving on horse number 9 type of vibes. Like, you're just gambling on one position here where the medevac is going to come in. And the worst part is that this position is the easiest scoutable to defend, because all you need to do is either build a pylon here or leave the probe there, and you completely cut off that far left side. So this area is an area that you never have to blindly go to, because you can always, 100% of the time, if you take a line base, you can always scout a medevac going there, because it's really easy near your third base. You still decide to gamble on that location if a medevac comes in from here, if a medevac comes in from here, if a medevac comes in from here, which is the case, you're going to be out of position, the mines are going to end up landing, and you will not be capable of getting the medevac because you're not in time. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing here. You mentioned that you defended the airdrop widow mines well. You lost almost no workers, or you lost no workers, but it literally doesn't matter, okay? This game right now, I don't want to say it's over, but this game is really, really good for the Terran. This specific situation, because basically he forced you away from your mineral line. He managed to move to a dead space. And he also killed 2 workers while keeping everything alive. He took no damage whatsoever. He just got 3 damage in. You're down maybe, what, like 250, 200 minerals after that move. You know, combining the cost of the 2 probes that you lost, as well as the probe pool away from the mineral line. You also lost a bunch of gas. Maybe you weren't producing probes all the way through. It is just a terrible, terrible thing. On top of that, you're going to need to, because you didn't actually kill it, you need to keep all of the stalkers at home right now, which means there's not going to be any pressure on the other side of the map. And also, in your initial defense, it's really going to suck. This medevac can just boost in over here into your natural, especially if you're out of position like this. Like, I would much prefer seeing 2 stalkers here, 2 stalkers here. That way you always have some stalkers in position, and if you respond quickly, you'll still be capable of blinking forward and probably sniping it. But right now, if you're not paying attention, then you're not going to get any damage in whatsoever on this medevac, and that would really, really suck. Now, you're... Jeez. No scout whatsoever, and you play 3 gate into double forge. This is after an absolutely atrocious early game. Legitimately an atrocious early game, okay? Losing the probes to the Reaper, building the battery for no reason whatsoever, then getting your workers fully scared away from the mineral patches, losing 2 more workers there, and the medevac staying alive. You cannot expect to build double forges, double upgrades, which won't be ready for the first push. The first point of pressure where the Terran is going to test you is going to come before these upgrades finish. All of the resources that are being invested into these buildings and into this will not be used in the upcoming push. That is a lot of cash that you're losing here, and you need to pull out absolutely all the stops in order to make a defense. I don't quite see actually how you are going to be capable of making a defense if your opponent micros somewhat competently. Like, you legitimately have no units. You have 5 stalkers, 4 of which are still tracking this mine drop. So really defensively currently, 7 minutes into the game, you have an adept, 2 sentries, 1 stalker and 4 zealots, and I think an immortal just popped as well. This is nothing. Your opponent has 71 army supply with +1. Look at this! Look at this freaking army, man. Is there no combat shield? Oh, no, combat shield's also on the way. Now this is actually a move that looks dumb, but might be somewhat smart. And the reason for this is that if you send in a run by, you force reinforcements to stay at home, and also what you can do, you can often keep you can kill a couple of workers, which is nice at the same time. You know, it's like a double thing. Now, one of the things you do need to do, though, is move your freaking units in position to force field this area, or to force field this area, or to force field this area, because you need to keep a ramp. You have 0 units currently. You have an adept and 2 sentries, but you have 0 map vision, so you have no clue if your opponent is even moving out. You're completely blind when it comes to that. The idea is very good, but the execution so far is god awful. It's a little bit like the last Airbender movie from, I think it's like 2010 or 2009. It's like, the idea is nice, but the actual execution was dog crap. This game, in my mind, should just be completely over. Like, there should absolutely be no way that you ever hold this. If the Terran focuses down the super battery here, there's 3, okay, yeah. The fact that this super battery got its entire duration is obviously really, really bad for the Terran. This is pure luck that you managed to survive. This is trusting on your opponent's incompetence. You should have died here. If you do this fight 50 more times, even against Goo, you're going to lose probably 49 out of 50 times. This is the one game. You're a statistical anomaly in this game. You know, you're the lucky guy. You're the person that buys lottery tickets and wins, and then says that it was a good decision. No, you just got lucky, mate. It's a terrible decision. Buying lottery tickets is one of the worst things you can do in your life. The return on investment there is god awful. Absolutely terrible. It's the same as you did here. Okay, now your 1-1 is going to finish. I'm really pissed off by this. I much would have preferred you just rolling over and dying here, because then you would have been punished. Now this is the problem. My man JV over here, he's now getting the feedback that this is a legitimate move. This is not a legitimate move. This is illegal. He got away with an illegal move. And it's not cool. Okay? This is like if you go into your local gas station and you steal a Snickers bar every single day and you never get caught. Then maybe you truly start believing that stealing a Snickers bar is allowed. No, it's not allowed. You just got away with it. You just got away with it. It's an illegal place. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Despise this move. Freaking double forge after losing 4 probes in the early game and not clearing the mine drop. I'm not sure what ended up. I'm not sure what happened with the mine drop. I'm pretty sure that Hamster will have like a little, you know, a little camera there, like a picture-in-picture type of stuff. I don't know. I think it might have been F2'd in or something. I don't know what happened there. Maybe we'll never know. Maybe Hamster won't even show it. That would be quite something. I think he will, though. We'll have to wait and see. God, that's exciting. What is this? These are stalkers. In an odd position, huh? Very odd position. This is an observer in a good position. Because it's going to scout any type of move out. There's a prism on the way as well. I don't really like the follow-up here either, honestly, coming out of JV. Because we're getting into the territory where ghosts are a possibility, where the mine... Holy crap, that's a lot of mines. We have 11 mines? That's a lot of mines, no? Is the main focus just on mine production? Holy crap. There's 14 Marauders and 13 mines. This is an insane army. That's an actual issue as well here. If ghosts come out and you move out with these mines, and there's no Colossi or Disruptors, that's a huge issue for the Protoss. The Protoss just continues without any splash units here, and that somewhat surprises me. No Storm, no Colossus, no Disruptors. Doesn't surprise me. It does surprise me. It also confuses me. It's bad. There's no vision anymore because he rallied the Observer into the Raven. I think that was the second Observer that he rallied into the Raven, by the way, which is not a great move. Okay, so here we're gonna go. Trying to snipe a mine. No, didn't quite get it. Like, it is fairly important. I don't think it's possible to actually win a fight against this army if you just have pure gate units with Immortals. You need splash. Like, yeah, like, it is just simply not possible. Like, look at this. 27 Zealots. Like, 16 of those Zealots will just die, and the rest of them will take so much splash damage that they basically also die. Like, there's absolutely zero way that a push is going to be held. If there's also Ghost. I was going to say, especially if there's Ghost, but there's going to be Ghost. So you get EMP and Mind Splash. What is this crap? I've never seen this. This is why Splash is so important. Disruptors against this would be having a field day. Or just Colossus as well would be having a field day. There is the potential here for a... For a counterattack. I love this, by the way. This is the type of move of people that have made mistakes in the past, you know? These people, they know that they always F2 when they panic. So what do? They put the Prism in phase mode. Yes, it is not brilliant, it is not beautiful, but it does the trick here. And I like this type of move. It's acknowledging a weakness that you have and then saying, okay, this weakness I can kind of circumvent by putting it in phase mode. Often Terrans do this with Liberators as well, putting them in like Liberation mode. Now, this is another fight that you're straight up just going to lose, in my mind at least. There's 3 Ghosts out and there's freaking 17 mines. So this game is fairly over. This is an insane engagement, by the way. Because this came from 3 sides. Holy crap. I legitimately think this was one of the most beautiful engagements I've seen in my life. What? I didn't quite appreciate it in the first few seconds. Look at this. He legit has a surround setup from 3 locations, and then he also comes back with these stalkers. His opponent, this is like a trap. This is so satisfying. Look at this. It's a slow speed. Look at this. But look at the mine shots. Just killing all the bio. This is like, sometimes you have these videos on YouTube where there's like a power washer cleaning a fence very systematically, you know, and I'm not big into power washers or anything, but I like watching that type of stuff every now and again. It looks beautiful. It's the same with this fight. This is the fight you could see on like oddly satisfying Reddit, you know, with some like epic music under it or some like some meditation music under it, you know. If you're a little bit down, you can watch this fight again. Holy crap, that was beautiful. That actually was an insanely good fight. That's so sad as well for JV in a way, because he's peaked, you know? He's never gonna get a fight like this again in his entire life. That was legitimately the best fight he'll ever... He fought against like 18 mines. He is... He forgot to clear the mines. There's 18 mines over here. Yeah, he's walking like 16 back home, or like 12 back home, casually. Casual stroll with the boys. It happens to the best. Upgrade-wise, it's about even. Still no extra tech, though. I don't really like that. Robo had to be built, like, minutes ago. And it still needs to be built. I also think this is kind of wasteful at this point, where it's like, hey, you already dealt so much damage. Is it really necessary to continue throwing away gate units while you're outmining your opponent, like, by factor 3? Like, no, I don't think that is... Like, this is absolutely not necessary. And it makes very little sense to me to pull this type of move. Like, having, like, 4 zealots or so, that's fine, but... You don't want to commit too many resources to harassing right now, because all you really need to do is stay alive. The moment you stay alive, you're going to be just fine. This guy walked through the mines. How did he make it, actually? What? Did he just walk through the first 2 and then the others didn't shoot? Or I don't quite understand that. Now these mines are going to get cleaned up, I guess, by the DTs. Yeah, makes some sense. Well, actually, DT warping is kind of risky. If there's a scan going down, you lose like 5 DTs, which isn't drone. There is blink, though, so could have still blinked away. Yeah, just overall, by the way, it's just a sick position currently for our Protoss player. Like, if we just analyze this position for a second, like there's 3-3 going down, or what is this? No, we already have +3 attack. There's like +2 shield. The moment you're researching shield weapons against a race that can remove your shields instantly, you know you have too much money. You have too many resources. Yeah, it is just too rich, simply too rich. Second Robo on the way, Robo Bay. This is just such a good position. There's 9 gateways. I wouldn't mind seeing like 10 or maybe 11 gateways. And I think a 5th base might be in order as well, but really the only thing we're currently lacking, once again, is map vision. Like the only map vision we're having right now, or that JV is having right now, is with these with the units he's attacking with. And they're about to die, so not too much map vision whatsoever. It's really difficult to respond to things if you don't know that they're there. This is one of the rules, not just in StarCraft 2, but in life as well, you know? It's really difficult to get rid of like a family of squirrels that's living in your roof if you don't know that they're living in your roof. It's practically impossible. So you need to gather clues as to what is going on. When it comes to squirrels, I'm not actually sure how you spot squirrels living in your roof. You probably can just hear them. No? I bet squirrels make a crap ton of noise. Most rodents make noise. A lot of noises are fairly annoying. I wouldn't mind them as much if they would just be quiet all the time. You have a family of mice living in my attic. I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, okay. This is exactly one of the ways that you could lose here. Is by having 0 map vision and then an army moving in position with... How many mines is this? 7. How does he keep making so many mines? He only has a single factory, right? Yeah. Even on a tech lab. It has to be some of the sickest mine production I've seen in my life. Quick scan. I mean, it's still going to get stopped. But it shouldn't have... Well, it wasn't even close, actually. I was going to say it shouldn't have been close, but it's still not close. So maybe even like this, you're not going to be capable of losing. The prism over here on the bottom side. This drop is going to get taken out. These colossi are going to get healed. It's good defense here, honestly. Pretty much, yeah, do like that defense. I'm okay with this defense. 178 supply against 116. Prism starts going in as well. We have the thermal lens coming in right now too, as the triple drops are heading back home. 4CC flying over. Actually, yeah, that's the 4CC. Very cool. Second starport on the way. Look at this. Some nice zealot harass. This is the eye for detail that I need in my life. And this is the lack of attention for the actual things that matter as well. Like this is... It's a detail-oriented person, okay? Look at this. I kind of want to go into the first person here. Because I wonder if he even looks at his main army. He's like, okay, let me just send my entire main army in the worst possible position. But he still has no clue. Imagine there's an army coming in from here right now, or from here, or another army just walking in from this location. All of that would have been possible. But rather than fixing this, well, rather big mistake of having literally everything out of position, we're taking a 5th base, you know, we're microing the zealots out of the prism, moving the zealot or the prism into position. This pretty much feels like planning your honeymoon with like excruciating detail, like just every single day, every hour planned, and then realizing you don't actually have a girlfriend. And trust me, doing a romantic dinner for 2 with just yourself isn't as fun as people say it is. It's more sad and a little bit awkward as well. Okay, now the army is going to get moved out. Took about 45 seconds. There was a 45-second window in which, if anything had happened, at like this base, the base would have just straight up died, or you would have to burn a recall, which is kind of painful because it wouldn't have been necessary. Now, game is still completely over, despite these minor errors, because luckily Gu, the second-ranked Chinese player, wasn't on the map because he has no units whatsoever, because this game is completely over. Once again, we're moving into a position without knowing anything on the map. I can't really say much about it. It's just bad. Like, this is just bad. Why would you be on the far right position currently? I mean, you have no clue where you're, like, if there's maybe like like anything on the map, like a medevac with 8 marines, or 2 medevacs with like marauder marine in there. Like, you're just moving blindly, continuously. Zero. I don't understand how you can play like this. I really don't understand it. It's like the people that walk around a house they've never been in with the lights off, because they'll think they know it. They remembered it from the one time they walked through. I have no clue what these observers are doing either. Like, they're giving extra vision on your own army. I guess against the 17 mines, if they still accidentally are there, that would have been nice. Like, the entire focus here of JV is wrong, but it doesn't matter because he's so ridiculously far ahead. I do have to actually make one note here, and that is that there is no sentry in this army, which actually is really, really bad. People kind of forget about this, but the sentry is really good as a unit. It provides 2 armor, allowing you to basically have 5 armor upgrades, which is huge. Having 5 armor upgrades. There's no other race that can do that. Well, the Ultra has it as well, right? They have the chitinous plating, so they have a crap ton of armor. But with a sentry, you can provide that for a large portion of your army. That is fantastic, and you should always, in a late game composition, have that. Always, always, always. It is so ridiculously important to have. I can't stress that enough. There's also no prism with this army, which means that reinforcements are going to be impossible. What have we been doing? Is this like killing the rocks? He started by taking out these rocks, then he took out the rocks in the middle, now these rocks. During this, his opponent actually managed to get somewhat of a decent army, like add like 25 army supply or so into this. Here comes the attack. Okay, it's interesting. Vikings start shooting on one of the 6 Colossus. Colossus get microed back. Start attacking the command center. Colossus start microing back. Attack the command center again. How many swipes do you think that these Colossus actually had on the army? With 6... I don't think it's more than 14 or 15 swipes. I would count it if I wanted to do that, but I don't want to do that. Now, I'm gonna count it, okay? We'll count the stupid swipes. Because I feel like I'm not saying there might have been more swipes on the command center, but... Okay, let's just have a look here. There is 6 Colossus, okay? 6. That's 1. The first one that hit something. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19... Okay, 19 swipes with 3 Colossus. Now, this was a fight that lasted, 15 seconds or so? If you would have just A-moved, this would have been way, way better. But because you were microing your Colossus in such a fancy, weird way, it's like you get these really expensive units that are great in an army, but then you're so afraid to lose them that you forget to actually use it. There are some people in the world that have this when they buy a couch. I knew a family that bought a really nice... expensive couch, but then what they did is they put covers on top of the couch because they were so afraid of spilling something on it. But the covers make the couch look butt ugly. And it's the same here. It just makes no sense. You have this really expensive, cool looking thing. Why would you hide it with your crap micro and not use it in the fight? This makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It's a low tier move. On a scale from 1 to 10, I would give this move a 2. And that's only because you get 1 point for free because you're a Protoss player. I like most Protoss players. So really, you should have gotten a 1 out of 10 for that. And now you die against the counter. This is actually an unlosable game. You've lost the unlosable game. You had the greatest fight in the world in this game, and then you had the worst fight in the world. It is just so frustrating to watch you play. It is actually insane. And now you're dead. Good job. Yeah. Timba! It's going down. I'm yelling Timba. I speak a little bit of Chinese. This means my favorite song of all time is Timba by Pitbull and Keisha. But Timba it is supposed to be spelled timber. Banger of a song as well. God, brings you back. Nostalgia. What also brings me back, down to earth, is the play that you showcased in this game, as it was pretty terrible. You had a constant lack of map vision. You never were in position for anything. Your macro was quite good though. I like that. Your unit composition switches were too slow. You stayed on. You got too many Colossus. Usually you only want 3, and then you transition into disruptors. You went up to 6, but that isn't even the worst thing. It's not the fact that you got 6. It's the fact that you got 6 and hardly managed to use them. That actually really pisses me off. The complaining here also doesn't make a lot of sense. You say that the Colossus are weak in a fight, but you didn't use them in a fight. You used them as like a massive walking distraction for the Vikings to shoot at. But that's already the job of the Vikings. So they were going to shoot at the Colossi no matter what. You could have just moved them in. You would have lost them just as fast because your micro didn't actually stop any of the Vikings from shooting at any point. It just made your Colossi shoot less. Your control in this game entirely was fairly bad. Except for the one fight. Although I believe that was more luck than wisdom. I could be wrong. Maybe you have a fight like this every single game. If that's the case, I want to get more of your replays. I'll make a nice little compilation. I'll watch it every night before bed. I'll be sleeping like a baby every single night. Holy crap, that fight was beautiful. That was actually the most beautiful fight that I've seen in my entire life, I think. Freaking 3 angles. The mines killed the entire bio ball. I love that. What I didn't love was your play. What I didn't love was the blaming of the Colossi despite your crap control. You, my friend, suck. Terran is not imbalanced. That's it. All right, that actually is going to be it. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this episode of Is It Imbalanced or Do I Suck? If you did, don't forget to like button, subscribe to the channel. Leave down in the comments what you thought of Timber by Pitbull and Keisha. Do you like the song? Do you hate it? And what do you rate it? That's it. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and submit your own IODs as well through the form in the description. Bye bye.